ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः, देवताभ्यो नमः। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। ॐ श्रीवेदव्याससद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्रीवैशम्पायन सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री याज्ञवल्क्यसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री आद्यशङ्कर सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Having saluted our gurus, rishis, Shruti Mata and Parabrahma, let us do our chanting Yato Vacho in Brahmananda Valli. It is in the fourth shloka of the Brahmananda Valli, second Valli of Taittiriya Upanishad. The purpose of this chanting is not only to bring our mind to the concentration, single pointedness, but also to feel in our personality the Upanishadic feelings so that we study exhaustively, thoroughly the Vidya, the Brahma Vidya given in our Upanishads. Try. Om Atha तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद पारायणं ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली ॐ यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न विवेति कदाचनेते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मान्मनोमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा विज्ञानमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः हृदं दक्षिणपक्षः सत्यमुत्तरपक्षः योग आत्मा महापुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति विज्ञानं यज्ञं तनुते कर्माणि तनुते बीज विज्ञानं देवाः सर्वे ब्रह्मज्येष्ठमुपासते विज्ञानं ब्रह्म चेद्वेद तस्माच्चेन्न प्रमाद्यते शरीरे पाप्मनो हित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुत इति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्माद् विज्ञानमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य प्रियमेव शिरः मोदो दक्षिणपक्षः प्रमोद उत्तरपक्षः आनन्द आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवते असन्नेव स भवते असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः उत विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुताहु शोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजा ये ते सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा इदगं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्छाभवत् निरुक्तं च निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च विज्ञानं च सत्यं चानृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति असद्वा इदमग्र आसीत् ततो वै सदजायत तदात्मानग्गः स्वयमकुरुत तस्मात् तत् सुकृतमुच्यत इति यद्वै तत् सुकृतं रसो वै सः रसगह्येवायं लब्ध्वानन्दी भवते को ह्येवान्यात् कः प्राण्यात् यदेष आकाश आनन्दो न स्यात् एष ह्येवानन्दयाते यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन् दृश्येनात्म्ये निरुक्ते अनिलयने अभयं प्रतिष्ठां विन्दते अथ सो अभयं गतो भवति यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन्नुदरमन्तरं कुरुते अथ तस्य भयं भवति तत्त्वेव भयं विदुषो मन्वानस्य तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ओम शांति 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 ओम श्रीकृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखारण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मराज्मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शिक्षा वल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ अष्टमोऽनुवाकः प्रणवोपासनमन्त्रः ॐ ओमिति ब्रह्मा ओमितीदगं सर्वम् ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्यो श्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ते ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते ओगं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगुंसन्ते ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाते ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौते ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्षन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेते ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Saluting to the entire Guru Parampara, Rishi Devata Parampara. We are into the study of Upanishad. Yesterday we started just for some time summarizing what we have studied in the first Anuvakas and what was taught to us in these Anuvakas, in fact, in the first entire Siksha Valli is the Upasana. Yesterday, we tried to define, explain Upasana as first using the intellect and thinking. Second, with the thinking ability of intellect, thinking and knowing what is the thing to be achieved, what is the thing to be gained in life. Then, if the intellect is rightly utilized, the thing to be achieved or gained is call it as happiness or call it as liberation and moksha. That liberation or moksha comes only through the Adhyatmic sadhana. Adhyatmic sadhana can be done only when we know it. Knowledge comes to us when Guru teaches us the Shastra. Therefore, yesterday we came to this definition that Upasana means going to the Guru and from him listening to the Shastra. This is how we defined yesterday. Then, what is taught in the Shastra, word by word, thoroughly understanding is Upasana. Thereafter, sticking to that instructions, doing those sadhanas as said by the Shastra is Upasana. That is how we define. And this Upasana is the effort which I have to do by myself. This Upasana of myself, which I have to do for my own evolution, is continuous, constant, all the time, throughout the life till the final goal of knowing the truth is reached. Never, nowhere, either we can compromise, neither we can compromise, nor we can go any of these side tracks. Then, from this sacred activity of Upasana for liberation, we will be falling into the secular or the lower world of worldliness. So, when to do Upasana is all the time. All the time we are Upasaka. Where we are studying Shastra to ascertain what is our goal, to ascertain what is our sadhana, and to continuously be on the path of doing sadhana. It's all the time should be the identity in me that I am an Upasaka, doing the Upasana Brahma Vidya through the study of the Upanishads. All the time it should be there, and we have to mold our personality in that way that we are always remembering ourselves to be Upasaka, and we know these are the Upasana sadhanas to be done. Whenever we are too tired, exhausted, maybe some time of rest, but once we wake up, again back to the identity that we are Upasaka and doing it. Like nowadays, we are having our classes. Once we are tired, we go to sleep, and when we wake up again, what we remember is our classes. That is called a type of preparation of ourselves. This is an Upasana. After coming to the class, then the next higher level of upasanas are what is taught in each of the topic, each of the valli, each of the prakarana or anuvaka. Feeling at home with the understanding of every aspect. And then really joyfully, willingly doing that practice to reach to the result which is promised. The two results are one is as the result indicated in Falashruti by the Shruti Mata herself. The second result which we want is to become qualified for the Brahma Vidya later on with the Shuddhi of the Antakarana, with the Jignasa to know what is beyond, what is behind, what is ultimate. These are two phala which we expect from this. The other phalas are what we imagine of the worldliness, which we are not interested at all. Anyway, all the worldly things are included in the phalashruti given by the Shruti Mata herself. That when we do this upasana, these are the results you will get. Okay. So yesterday we touched upon Shamno Mitraha Shiksham Vyakyasyamaha Atatam Samhitaya Upanishadam Vyakyasyamaha Yaschandasa Amrishabha, then Avahanti Vitanvana. These are all from the Upasana definition standpoint. We have tried to exhaustively explain. Then we today have to see the summary of the 5, 6, 7, 8 Anuvakas and start the sixth Anuvaka, Sambandha Bhashya, and also, if possible, start studying that. The study itself is Upasana. This listening itself is Upasana. While listening itself, trying to understand itself is Upasana. If there is a doubt, asking the Guru is an Upasana. Doing the homework to pakka understand about the goal means indicated is Upasana. Then the willingness to do that sadhana is Upasana. Actually doing it, Upasana. Doing relentlessly, continuously is the great Upasana. Till the result is reached. Yesterday we gave example of everything. You're driving in car. Is it not? Wanting to drive car to go to office on time safely is the first thought. That itself is Upasana. Then gathering money, buying the car, learning the driving in the ground, empty ground. Then in on the road we drive the car when no traffic is there. Slowly, slowly we start driving when the traffic is there. Then in the course of time of 6, 8 months, we become thorough in driving. Then we reach to office every day on time independently, come back. This was the upasana of the car vidya. So to everything. Here also we are doing the Brahma Vidya Upasana. Before that, the Mahat Brahma Upasana, so that we are safe and secured as an individual to do sadhana under the protecting shelter and umbrella of this Mahat Brahma. We can ourselves reach to Mahat Brahma Sthiti. From there, we can inquire what is even this Mahat Brahma ultimately. That will be explained to us and we will realize it as the Parabrahma. That all will be in the second Valli for us. In the Brahmananda Valli, the whole topic is that. This is Mahat Brahma Valli, that is Brahmananda Valli. Then in the Bhrigu Valli, the Bhrigu teaches the disciple all these meditations again. Okay, now what is there in the fifth Anuvaka? भूर्भुवस्सुवरिति वा एतास्तिस्रो व्याहृतयः तासामुहस्मैतां चतुर्थीं माहाचमस्य प्रवेदयते मह इति तद्ब्रह्म स आत्मा अंगान्यन्या देवताः. This is the whole idea, whole concept, whole thing to be understood as upasana. So, in precise words, Bhurбhuva Surtiva Etaha Tisraha Vyahrutaya. In the entire world of experiences, at whatever the level we have experience, every experience has got the three aspects in it. Those three aspects are named as the Vyahrutis. And each of the Vyahruti is named as Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. Therefore, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha are the Vyahrutis, in whose combination every experience, inner, outer, smaller, bigger, is possible. All of us are in that way in these three Vyahrutis, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. So, what is Bhuhu, what is Bhuva, Swaha? We told. The Jnata, Jnanam, Gneyam, Drashta, Drishyam, Darshanam, Shrota, Shravanam, Shrotavyam, Ganta, Gantavyam, Gamanam, Vakta, Vachaniyam, Vachanam, Vaktavyam. Is it not? Everywhere there are three, three, three. Without the subject and object and contact, there is no experience that is possible. So don't have any doubt regarding what is the meaning of these Bhurva Swaha Vyahrutis. They are the Triputi in every of the experience. Without them, the experience or without experience, the existence is not there, is not possible. This is what everybody sees. Everybody goes through that. But in this Panchama Anuvaka, what was told was, there was a rishi by name Mahachamasya. He just contemplated. That's called Upasana. What is this contemplation? When these three things put together are giving an experience, are they exclusive, independent in this way as I am now in the understanding? Or is there any fourth factor supporting them? That inquiry was is upasana. If at all it is there, what is actual relation between that and these three? What is the actual relation between that and me? Inquiry. The real me, actual me. Inquiry. Then in his inquiry, he became so subtle that he discovered the fourth. He called it as Maha. Then he referred it to Upanishads. Upanishad told, yeah, it is right. It is called in our languages Brahma. What is its relation with me, your own self? My relation with it is me only, Atma. See that connection? Bhur Swaritivaha Etaha Tisra Vyahrutayaha. These are the three Vyahrutis with which everybody is familiar. Even if it's somebody forgets, somebody reminds him, it is easy to catch. Like I told you, the knower known knowledge, the doer doing deed. Is it not? The seer seen seeing. Tripudi. Then immediately, tasamuhasmaitam chaturthi mahachavasya pravedayate. Within them, permeating in all of them, becoming cause of all of them, supporting all of them, substratum of all of them, has been, there is another fourth one, the pravedayate, after deep contemplation inquiry, firmly came to the ascertaining and understanding this Mahachamasa Rishi about the presence of the fourth. That is what. Tasamuhasmaitam chaturthim Mahachamasya pravedayat. Mahachamasya came to know through his inquiry upasana about the fourth one. What is the name he gave it to Mahaiti? And it is found to be Brahma and Tadatma. So Atma. That is the Atma. Atma for all these three. All these three, including the experiencer also. So experiencer, yeah. Experiencer, yeah. Experiencer, yeah. The three are there. To all the three, even include the experiencer, this fourth Maha is the Atma. And this Atma is there in every triputi of every experience of me. Not only me, it is there in the everybody. For that Maha Chaturtha Vyahruti, in fact, these three Vyahrutis are Angas. He is the Angi. Angi is Anga depend on the Angi. Anga cannot be without the Angi. Angi functions through the Anga. Angi can be independent of the Anga also. That is what. Mahaiti Tad Brahma Satma Angani Anya Devataha. This is what the principle. Then four examples are given to us for our practice. That practice should lead us to a perfection of always focusing attention on the fourth, which is the Brahma of Upanishad, the Atma of each of us in our experience. Remember, this Brahma or Atma is the Parabrahma, Paramatma only, ultimately. But a step before this Brahma or Atma, because it is still in the duality level, it is still in the gross experience level of Trayo. Therefore, we call it as the Mahat Brahma. Mahat Brahma is an intermediate factor brought to dissolve all individualities in total. Mahat Brahma is never the goal. Goal is always the Parabrahma. But Mahat Brahma idea, Ishvara idea in the Purana Ityadi gives such a great help to us that all our individualities we can dissolve in it. We can surrender to that. And the logical thing is, as long as we as an individual exist with our upadhis and capacities, Definitely, there must be also a totality to whom all the individualities depend upon must exist. जब तक मैं जीव हूं ईश्वर होना ही चाहिए. Be fixed in this thought. When I transcend my own Jiva Bhava and know the Brahma, there is no Ishvara, there also is Brahma. Before that, Ishvara is there, his Upasana is there, and we need to invoke his blessings, etc. Thus, Ishvara here is called the Mahat Brahma. Okay. Then the three Vyahrutis and the fourth Mahavyahuti, the four sets are given. The Lokas, as well as Jyotihi, as well as Veda and Prana. These four are given. Bhuritiva ayam lokaha, Bhuvarityantariksam, Svarityasau lokaha, then Mahitya then Adityena Vava Sarve Loka Mahiyante. This is what is there in the world already. You have to recognize it. That recognition relentlessly is called Upasana. Aditya is the one from whom all these Bhuloka, Antariksha Loka and Svar Loka are sustained. That Aditya Loka is permeated in all these three. Without the Aditya Loka, these three cannot be. This intellectual Lagatar practice is called as the Vyaharti Upasana with regard to the Lokas. Vyaharti Upasana with regard to the Lokas inside. In that, we are recognizing Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha. We are seeing the Mahaha alone is expressing in and through Bhurbhuva Swaha, with which all the lokas are existing, supporting all the jivas to stay there with their Deha Ityadi. So I am there with Deha in Bhulok. Then when I leave the body, I will be there in Antariksha Loka for some time. Then I'll go to the Svar Loka if I have done the Punya. Then to other Lokas I'll be sent later on. In and through all these Lokas, who is there is Aditya. So the Aditya Bhagavan only Bhurbhuva Stolok रूप में व्यक्त होते हुए मेरे जैसे आप जैसे सब जीवों को शरीर के साथ रहने का स्थान दे रहे हैं. That is a Loka. It all appears to be very funny or non-understandable in the beginning, because for us what we see with the eyes, the world, that alone is final, we imagine, we think, we take it like that. It's not like that. There is Bhuvar Loka, Suvar Loka, all of them are permeated by the Aditya Loka. He is the one who is sustaining with his presence all these three. That Aditya is the Maha for all these three. Bhurbhasva Lokas. This is what the Vyaharti Upasana we have to do inside. Then we are taught about the Jyotihi Upasana. Bhuritiva Agnihi Bhuvariti Vayuhu Suvaritya Mahiti Chandramaha Chandramasavava Sarvani Jyotigamshi Mahiyante. So the three independent with their capacities. All the three put together with mutual combination are becoming resourceful. But all these three are nothing but the expression of the four. The four alone is expressing through these three, supporting these three. These three came from four. The fourth one, they are sustaining because of the fourth one, they go into the fourth. Like the ice block, the water and water vapor, all these three came from the H2O, hydrogen oxygen molecules. Stay in that and they go back into that. This example is only to understand about the presence of the Mahavyahuti, which is permeating in all of them. So lifting our attention, shifting our attention from the three to the fourth is called as Mahad Brahma Upasana, Mahad Upasana, Mahad Vyahuti Upasana. So far we were bound only in these three Vyahutis. We took That alone is real. In that also, we just like something, they dislike something, then we created all Shatru Mitra, a big samsara we were living so far. All that was uncalled for. But because of lack of the higher, greater, deeper spiritual knowledge, that was going on happening in so many lives. Now to all that we want to put a permanent full stop. That is only when we know the absolute truth. In the path of knowing absolute truth, upasana. In upasana, one of the thing is vyahriti. Now for us, because of involving in so many things, busy in so many things, mind occupies so many things, these upasanas appear to be difficult or impossible or not required. But in those days of Upanishads or Vedanta or Vedic Kala, they have no other occupation. They are fully available, fully free. More than all that, they surrender to Guru. Guru told us, Upasana Vyarati, they do it. उन्होंने दूसरा सोच ही नहीं है. So they used to do enjoying and they used to enjoy the result also. This is what is said in the fourth Anuvaka as Medaya Pehita. What Medaya Pehita, which we explained, that with so much of worldly Medas, the Pranava and the Parabrahma are covered. In those days, the meaning of Medaya Pehita is only little Meda of the worldliness. But the Rishi anticipated that throughout the creation in every jiva, left to himself, his intellect will gather so much of Laukika Prajna. He calls it as Prajna, he calls it as Medha, but he'll never understand that Laukika Prajna, Laukika Medha is the one which never allows one to understand the Om and its greatness. And that it is a sheath for Parabrahma inside it. Today also we have so much of the thing, therefore we don't find the time to think, to understand, to practice. We have to recognize this. Then with some contemplation, a firm resolve should come. Ki enough of all that, the world will continue like this. My life also will continue if I continue like that. No, no more. Let me change. Change to study Upanishads. Change to thoroughly understand Upanishad. Change to live like what is taught in Upanishad. To experience Upanishad Vedya Brahma Tattva. That firm resolve, after which we withdraw from all the outer activity and we withdraw from the all mind's activities. Then only the Upanishad enters us, we enter into Upanishad. We practice the Upanishad, the Upanishadic results are seen in our experience. ऐसा हमको बनाना पड़ता है. Why this is said? Because when we are trying to understand all, the impossibilities in understanding, the unimaginabilities in not able to do that, ये सब क्योंकि हम इतना अपने आप को व्यस्त ध्वस्त करके रखे. We are dvasta because of our vyasthata. That is why Viveka Vairagya, all that. Again and again, we have to go back to the roots and understand where we have gone wrong right from beginning, correct it, rectify it. And those who are ambitious about the world and worldly achievements here and hereafter, उनको तो उपनिषद टेस्ट ही नहीं लगता है. न सांपराय प्रतिभाति balam. For a child, the samparaya is not liked. And whoever don't like or don't understand higher spirituality, they're all balaha. They're only childish. They're enjoying the outer worldly activity. See the people so busy from morning, evening, working in samadhi, the company with all the skills, intelligences, the professional knowledge, the knowledge of the work field. What a wonderful thing they do. And the boss appreciates, gives promotion. They get a lot of salary and encouragement. Kitna maja maja. So that's a total different world. They are alien to the possibility or presence of all this knowledge. Not that we have understood everything and started doing sadhana, but at least we are recognizing the presence of these things. From this lofty vision of Mahat Brahma and Parabrahma, entire world itself is a small atom. And in that world is some place somebody doing some work. ये तो छोटा सा है, and all that is imagination only. Maya only, mithya only. There is nothing to remain permanently. है कि नहीं? कोई भी है ही नहीं शाश्वत. This way. Okay. Then the third set of four Vyavritis was told were about the Vedas. Uritivarachah bhuvaiti samani suvariti yogamshi mahaiti brahmani brahma brahmana vava sarve vedaha mahiyante. Then the Brahma is Vedas, Brahma is Omkara. Brahma is Mahat Brahma, Brahma is Parabrahma. From there, all these three Vedas have come, sustained by that fourth. Okay. And the fourth one was the Vayu or the Prana Chatushtayam. और प्राण दृष्टि से हमको 3 और 1 4 व्याहृति बताए. सो भूरिति वा वै प्राणः भुवरित्यपानः सुवरिति व्यानः मह इत्यन्नम् अन्नेन वाव सर्वे प्राणा महीयन्ते. We have to remember them, we have to practice them consciously. Then we'll understand that the set of these three are the ones because of which the world is sustaining. The fourth one is the one because of which these three are sustained. And all those fourth ones, whether it is the Aditya there, whether it is Chandrama there, whether it is Brahma, whether it is Annam, they are all again tuned to one Mahat Brahma from where all these have come. This is how the Srushti from the Samashti to the Vyashti it is expressing. In that Vyashti with one Upadhi, the one who is bound, he is called Jiva. He is suffering, and that is your enemy. And we are struggling to get liberation. And liberation will never come when we are at the identification level in smaller Upadhis. First, identify the total Upadhi by serving the total Upadhi through the individual Upadhis. Thereafter, even the total Upadhi also an Upadhi only. It also gives only limited experience. If you want infinite, unlimited, even the Samashti Upadhi also we transcend. That will be a later portion. Even Mahat Brahma also Upadhi, usko par karo to hi Parabrahma we gain. But Mahat Brahma Sthiti पहुंचना ही a very sacred achievement, very great divine achievement. Therefore, it is recommended in this Upanishad. In other Upanishad, this totality concept is not there. They say use your Upadhis to serve the total, transcend your individual Upadhi, then inquire about your own essential self. In other Upanishad, the total also has got the Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. Vachyartha is these Ishwaratva, Hiranyagarbhata ityadi. Lakshyartha is Sachidananda. Individual also has Vachya Lakshyartha. Drop the Vachyartha and through the Lakshyartha, see, you understand that and this is one. That's called a Tattvamasi Mahakopadesha. Some Upanishad talks like that. This Upanishad is making us surrender to the totality, the Mahat Brahma, then it is lifting us to the Parabrahma. Then Tava etas chatasras chaturdaha chatasras chatasro vyahritayah tayo veda saveda brahma sarve esmai deva balima vahanti. This was the falashruti of this Panchva Anuvaka, where the inner upasana of Vyahritis are told. Where we are aware of 3 Vyahritis, we are now extra becoming specially newly aware about the 4th Vyahriti. And in our upasana, the importance given to the 4th Vyahriti increases more and more. That is called upasana. उपासना में उत्कृष्ट चीज को वैल्यू देना बढ़ते जाना चाहिए. Okay, higher and higher. So our drishti is in Aditya, on Chandramaha, on our Brahma, as well as on our, what do you call, the Annam. They are the one from where the other three Avahrutis have come, with which the world is there. Like the Prana, Apana, Vyana, in me, because of all that, all physiological functions are happening. And Rugyeju Samata, Veda, Rugyeju Samedas are that, in which the entire Karma Kanda portion is taught, both for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Prapti. And then it is from Chandrama, the light is coming because of what? Agni, Vayur, Aditya, Prakashamana Lokas are working. So too it is from the Aditya Loka that Bhurvasva lokas are working, or Bhuloka, Antariksha Loka, Suvarloka. Unless we fully become all the time aware of these things, उपासना हम नहीं कर पाते. याद करना पड़ता है. मैं भूल जा रहा है, मैं क्या करूं? Try to remember it. Imagine a person 6 months fully involved only in this type of upasanas. His heart will be full of that Mahat Brahma. He will look at all individualities, all individual upadhis, their functioning, but he is never forgetting the Mahat Brahma because of their effect. He knows the Mahat Brahma only functioning through every one of them. Okay? Now that Mahat Brahma theoretically understood, we have to reach to in our identity. For that, first of all, where are we identified? Recognize with ourselves, and then slowly lift our identity from the individual grasp to the total and also subtle. That is why the sixth Anuvaka started. Clear? In the fifth Anuvaka, more and more sadhana is objectively is done. Now, exclusively subjectively, the sadhana is taught of upasana in the sixth Anuvaka. There, our attention is brought into our Hridaya Akasha, and in that Hridaya Akasha, our attention is brought to our own self as what I am experiencing myself today. Then he is dissected, analyzed, how he is there as. Then a question is asked: Is this me? Is it necessary that he should identify only with these upadhis, or he can identify with the higher and subtler or total? Then, as an experiment, the identity of I through this yoga marga is shifted from the murtni, and while being in the body only, to whatever the identity we have done of the totality aspect, the Atma of the total, with that the identification is given. Listen carefully every word. So I discovered myself in the Hridaya. Then I shifted my identity from the Deha and got out of it. While living in the body, if I observe the total Deha, then the total Deha is called total Bhumi. Total Bhumi is Adhisthana is Agni Tattva. I get identified with Agni. As an Agni, I command enter Prithvi Amsha. So too, if I have served the Annamaya Pranamaya Kosha while being in the body, then I will be identified with the Vayu. If I identify with the Manomaya Kosha, then it's called Aditya. Then if I have served every Aham, then I identify with the Mahat Brahma. I will be promoted that way. Promotion giving is by the boss. But I will go on performing. Seeing my performance, they give me the promotion. Clear? So therefore, one by one. स एषोऽन्तरहृदय आकाशः स एषः अन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः. Remember all those days, how every word we try to understand. So many days we have spent. स एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः, हृदय आकाश है. तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषः, in that Purusha is there. Manomaya, he is a Manomaya right now, but in actuality, Amrutaha, Hiranmaya. Recognizing of that Jiva in the heart. That itself is a great achievement. मैं कौन हूँ वाला. I am a Jiva expressing through the Aham Vritti, illumined by that reflected consciousness with which I got the capacity to know, and to use that capacity to know and know the world, I need the mana, buddhi, chitta, and indriya. All that I am given, and all of them have to be stationed at one place to work. Therefore, a deha is given. See the inquiry, if you do, the entire definitions change. I think I am inside Deha. Rather, it's not correct. Deha is given for me, the Jiva, as a place to stay. These dehas go and come, but the jiva continues getting newer and newer deha. Therefore, the jiva is important, not the deha. Like car is important for me to travel. I am important actually, not the car later on. Because without car I can go, but car cannot go without me. But at this moment in my dependency on the car, I think a car is very important for me. Whereas I only bought the car, I am only managing, I am only using it. So the jiva is me who is given this deha, who is using this deha called as car. Deha depends on jiva, not the other way around. That thing should click to us. Now, as a jiva, identify with the deha, becoming slave to the deha sukha only is my sukha. To this level of lesser knowledge or information or ignorance, we are bound. But when we do the practice of these upasanas for a long time, and as a result, when we discover myself to be the jiva, then we understand like this, so many dehas are given to me, taken away. There is nothing new. And not only to me, everybody in this world is a jiva. Every jiva is given a deha. Every jiva is eking out his experiences and salvation through every deha. When the time comes, every jiva will have to leave deha. There is nothing special about it. There's no emotion to be felt. There's no worry. There's no tension. There's no anxiety. Every jiva will have to live. Even this jiva will have to live this day. See, the whole emotions are transcended. Anxieties are transcended. Fears are transcended. Miseries because of I am dying or somebody dying is transcended. Therefore, if you and I for 1 year talk only in the language of jiva jiva, our language will be different. When a news comes, somebody died, we say that jiva who was there in the body left the body. We don't talk it as is dead. But now, oh, he is dead. What about his family members? Who will take up the children? All sentimental projections only. But while being that person is in the body, for the sake of Vyavahara, mutual Vyavahara, the relation is there. The wife calls him as husband, the children call him as father, the father calls as son, the brother calls him as brother. These are all the Vyavaharik entertainments, Vyavaharik time passes, Vyavaharika duties for the Vyavaharik transaction to happen smoothly, because when you are together, you can do bigger works in an easier manner. But for doing that, emotions are required. Then so much emotional we become that we forget the intellect. What is the forgetful intellect? That he is a jiva in that deha, I am a jiva in my deha. We have mutual prarabdha as jiva, therefore we came here through this body. It's not permanent, he is going to live or I go to live, never to meet again. Even if we meet, we don't remember. We might have met earlier so many times, earlier life. किधर याद है? हमको तो कल का ही याद नहीं होता. All these emotions are transcended when I discover myself to be the jiva in the hridaya akasha sthita. Then we have a chance capacity for ourselves, jiva bhava, because it is me to shift our identity from this deha beyond this. That is called a yoga marga prakriya. All that very exhaustively, detailedly, we didn't say you study from the yoga shastra, that type of yoga, kundalini yoga, or all that chakra bhedanam yoga. That Shankara Bhagavan hinted, इस तरह से होता है. Even if he doesn't know this chakra vedana sthiti, but if he is using his annaprana maya koshas for the service of the total annaprana, without knowing also, when he leaves the body, he gets identified with the higher atma of all these vyahrutis. There is no problem there. Like when I consciously know that when I do this thing, I get promoted. Without knowing that this promotion comes to me when I do this. At that time also when I do it, I get promotion. Like any route, you know this route goes there and you travel, you go. Even if you don't know that this route goes there, but you travel, you will go there only. Because this travel, this route reaches there. In the same way, So rising above Annapranamana consciously all the time, individual Annapranamana, and serve the total of Annapranamana, then the individual in me is no more identified with this one Annapranamana, not also the total, the Atma of the each one of them I am given identification. Then through that power I can serve all the Stula Sukshma Karana or Annapranamana. But that is also not ultimate. That identity is also not ultimate. The ultimate is the Atma of these three what? Usme pahunchna. Okay? So that is why after saying that this is a Purushaha, Manomaya, Amrita Hiranmaya, then slowly lifted. Antarena taluke, Shahastana iva avalambate, Sendra yonehi, Yatra asau keshante, Keshanto vivardate, then Vyapohe Shirsha Kapale. He comes out of the identity with particular upadhis through the cranium, Shirsha Kapala, Brahmarandra. Then where will he go? That please remember, I is a permanent thing. That permanent I right now is identified with the upadhi, that also Vyashti. He has become a jiva and you and I. The same I will be shifted from this Vyashti upadhi to the Atma of the upadhis. Thereafter to the Mahat Brahma, thereafter to Aham Brahmas. And that I is me. That Aham Brahmasmi, I am now Aham Dehosmi Sthiti. This called is bondage. Through the knowledge followed by the upasana, we can shift our identity. And as easy, it is not as easy as set. Everywhere there will be questions, there will be doubts. Every one of them have to be answered. When you have that faith in the Guru himself will answer from within or outside also. You can do meditation, and when you have a question, you ask the Guru, I tried for Dhyanam, but you have obstruction. Then Guru gives that time the result or the answer. You can use it and go ahead. But you have to be dedicated to do that. Hmm. Then where will he go once he goes out of Vyapohya Shirshakapale, Vyaporya, Vidarya, Bhuriti Agno Pratitishthati. Listen. भुवरिति वायो प्रतिष्ठति सुवरित्यादित्ये प्रतिष्ठति then maha iti brahmani. If he is focused throughout the life as on maha upasavahruti, that is every individual you loved as yourself, every individual you try to serve him, value him, respect him, that is called as mahadupasana. If that is done, when you leave the body, you become one with the Mahat Brahma, Maha iti Brahman. Another way is what? From the Agni, you go to the Vayu level, from the Vayu to the Aditya level, from the Aditya to the Mahat Brahma level. अभी तो वो है करके पता नहीं था like a soldier. He is working, he has very vague information about the presence of a chief of army staff. But by virtue of his this life, various experiments, experiences, learnings, he can see that he can come to that level. Under the command of the chief of army, entire army, armed force. So too the naval chief, air force. You have seen all of them on 15 August. It was such a wonderful scene to see. All that the Amar Jawan Jyoti, then the president, and behind her all the three the Dadadipatis, and then the representative in these three corners. It is very inspiring. I was really touched to see that. They're all the Desha Rakshak have some. जिनके कारण we are very safe inside country doing our upasanas, our Vedanta and all that. But although we know they're all Ishvara working through all of them, but all Vedanta anyway intact. But one good to see. So the soldier may not at this moment can imagine that he can command the brigade or battalion or whatever. But potentially he is so. In the same way, I am now at this jiva level of Pancha Kosha, but I myself am the Mahat Brahma. So that is what is Mahayati Brahman. And all are slowly remembered and aimed at and reached out to, not in one life sadhana, it can be in many lives. In this life, we are struggling to fulfill our own Annamaya's desires and bhoga. At the very lowest level, we are. This Annamaya has to be used for total Annamaya. Pranamaya for total, Mano for the total, Aham for the total. कुछ 5-6 जन्म हमको ऐसा व्यष्टि को छोड़ समष्टि के लिए काम करना पड़ता. Then only one individual upadhi identity is transcended. नहीं तो यहीं फंसे रहते. करवाएंगे भगवान. When we have the faith in this goal, faith in the Lord, He will see to it that all these are done. Like when I am interested to study and I am going to schools and all, the staff are there, teaching staff, they'll see to it that right from the alphabets up to all the formula level or the theorem level, they will teach me. मैं तैयार हूँ, लगातार जा रहा हूँ स्कूल में. ABCD भी नहीं आता है शुरू में, देखते देखते by the time he finishes post graduation, so many things he has learned. In the same way, once I decide that I am sadhaka and surrender to Guru and Guru Tattva and Ishvara, they will see to it that every life we are given opportunities to do sadhana. In fact, many of us don't know that we are doing sadhana. Bhagavan is making us do sadhana. Many of us don't know कि हमारे अंदर के जीव साधना कर रहा है. Ego is different. The ego is struggling in the world. But inside the jiva is doing his sadhana. Ishvara Kripa say every jiva is doing sadhana to evolve, there is no doubt. And you and I become conscious little. Ki, this world is this how, but I have to become spiritual, I have to evolve spiritually. This conscious thought makes me to consciously do sadhana, makes the Lord also, prompts this Lord also to bless me quickly. That is how conscious effort. If you don't put conscious effort, even a mendak also is evolving. A सांप भी evolve हो रहा है. A पेड़ भी evolve हो रहा है in this world spiritually, unknowingly. You and I as human being have intellect, etc. Therefore, we can know and we can perform better and reach out fast. Everybody were walking, every animal was walking, running. Suddenly, human being discovered the vehicles, etc. He started going faster than them, faster than himself. Then he discovered now the flight, huge distances he just covers in few hours. Then he discovered these rockets and all. They are going to the sky with such a speed. Is it not? Human beings' possibilities. So, as a human being, we can consciously understand all these subject and consciously feel that I am Adhyatmic Sadhaka, consciously do the sadhana, consciously that I am Atma, but I am now Jiva. I am Jiva because of my Panchakosha Tadhatmya. So I have to detach from it. It can be done only when the Panchakosha, mainly Anna Pranamana, when I use it to serve the total. Consciously I have to do. Like I'm doing japa for concentration of my mind. I'm doing the upasana of Bhagavan Vishnu Salagrama to invoke his blessings for my welfare. I'm doing upasana for respecting my father to be helped by him. Everywhere there is conscious identity, conscious purpose, conscious doing for the conscious benefit. है कि नहीं? Everywhere there is a conscious purpose, conscious doing, conscious gaining, conscious identity. Like on the dining table, I am the eater of the food, conscious identity. The food to be eaten, the object there. And then the action of eating is going on. And in that, what I am offering, what is the taste? हर चीज कॉन्शियसनेस से होता है. If you become conscious about scriptural knowledge and the goal indicated by it and apply that to oneself that ये मेरा goal है, accordingly do it, you are a full-fledged sadhak. Like I am giving lecture consciously with the idea that the thought of Upanishad has to become very deeply understood to me and also audience. So that they have got a strong support as well as inspiration to do sadhana. Support of inspiration, information, and information itself is support of inspiration and inspired to do this. That is a conscious effort I am putting. As long as I am in the class. Is it not? So in this way, we have seen up to. And when we become Mahaiti Brahmani, the huge list of Falashruti was told. Apnoti Swarajyam, Apnoti Manasaspatim, Vakpati, Chakshupati, Shrotrapatir, Vijnanapati, Etatato Bhavati, Akasha Shariram Brahma, సత్యాత్మ ప్రాణారామం మన ఆనందం శాంతి సమృద్ధం అమృతం. ఇది ఏ ప్రాచీన యోగ్య ఉపాస్వ. Mahachamasa told Prachina Yogya named his disciple, this is how better you do. These are Vyaharati Upasana inside. Is it not? With that Sattva Guna, with all the data kept intellectually, when you analyze it, then the Sara essence comes. That is why Upanishad is not everybody's bite. We have to come to that evolved level of intellect, its interest, its ability to focus, then hold on to all the data given, then understand the whole data in its entirety. That personality is called the student of Upanishad. Not easy thing. You and I are trying, struggling from last 2 years to come to that level. We are succeeding in 0.05%. Thoda sa. Why so less? Because immediately we are forgetting and back to the square one. All the time, do we remember that I am Mahat Brahma or I am Upasaka Mahat Brahma to become one with Mahat Brahma? किधर है स्वामी जी, सुबह से पेट का ही दर्द हो रहा है. Our problem is at our own grass level. This is how it is. But study, 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 feel for that. Then that maturity comes. We are en route to that. After that, everything we do is for only totality, and everything we do for totality is only to transcend individuality. And the desire to transcend individuality is fulfilled on the seat of meditation, and we recognize our individuality as a jiva in the heart. Then slowly we evolve out of this dehadi through the yoga marga or any of the Vedanta marga. Of knowing, now I have understood that these are all upadhis given. I have done the Sakshi Abhyasa also. So I am only a witness, they are all witnessed by me. Yet I can identify with them to do the work. ये सारा पोल आराम से खुल जाता है to a highly evolved, very regular doing sadhaka. That's why the entire lives, every day we have to involve in sadhana only. Then only each of the stages are crossed, perfections are achieved. For everyone it is like that. This is the Vedantic way. Those who cannot do that, they go in the Bhakti Marga. Hey, Bhagavan, unke charan bakadana. Jabardasti. Now he has to go somewhere, but you are not leaving his feet. Ab kya kare? He gives what you want. That is the Bhakti Marga. People do it. Understand? Right? Now we have done the sixth Anuvaka also. What is there? Inner Upasana. Of what? The Vyavrutis. Means what? The experiences are happening because of the three, but they are supported by the fourth. All of that. Then I have to reach to my identity through that fourth. For that, I have to recognize who am I, where am I. Then I will find myself in my heart as the Manomaya Purusha. This Manomaya Purusha, me, is consciously doing this Annaprana Mano for the sake of total service. Earlier, this Purusha was caught up in one Annaprana Mana in so much way that he thought he was Annaprana Mana. Like the ताश खेलने के लिए 2 दिन बैठते हैं. They forget all their other identities, duties, responsibilities, obligations. They only become that. इतना इंटॉक्सिकेशन होता है वैसा टीवी देखने वाला. He is so intoxicated into watching TV as if there is no other thing only. So too you and I are, from many lives, living only at Annapranamana, are caught up, intoxicated in this. Okay, that I often recognize myself there, using this to serve total, transcending in my identity from the individual to the total. तो ये अन्नमय कोश भूमि से आया, भूमि अग्नि तत्व से आया. When this annamaya of mine I use in service of the total bhumi, in the sense all the human beings and all jiva, then I in me is identified with the agni tattva. That's what bhuriti agnau pratitishthati. Bhuvariti vayahu pratitishthati. Svarityaditye mahaiti brahmani. Clear? Then apnoti swarajyam and all when one identifies the Mahat Brahma. Like once one become president, then all the three army and everybody takes command, takes the orders. He has become Sarvabhauma for that nation. The entire 130 crores of population of India are under the rule of the president. Indian is the president ruling system. Though the president is really Sakshi, presides, and the other people do it, but as per the constitution, the head of the nation is Deshadhyaksh. So too, the entire world is by the Mahat Brahma. We can get promoted to that level. That is what the glory of this Upanishad. And to that person, forget about one individual upadhi. He is catering to the needs of total upadhis and all the jivas. And the Mahat Brahma's only purpose is to provide to all jivas all those things which eventually lead every jiva to the Parabrahma only. महात ब्रह्म का यही काम होता है हर जीव को पर ब्रह्म की तरफ ले जाने के लिए जो चाहिए वो देते रहना but जीव doesn't know it. He is identified with the upadhis and he is enjoying at that level. All the enjoyments are imaginary. Like I say ना मैं उसको जाकर मिलूंगा तो कितना मजा आएगा और जाकर मिला मजा आ गया फिर कहा यार मैं वहां गया था बहुत मजा आया. All of them are my own imagination. And it has become practical. एंड आई क्लेम दैट रियली क्या मैं आस्क हिम क्या मजा है तो हमने डांस किया नाचा सो व्हाट इज देयर बट इन द डांस यू फील हैप्पीनेस देयरफॉर यू थॉट इट इज योर फीलिंग हमने खाना खाए खूब मस्ती की है इतना मजा आया so that's how we get caught up anyway that's a known thing we will not discuss much about it coming to this seventh one is a pangta upasanas. Is it not? Everything is set of five, set of five. Set of five, every individual is connected to each other, all of them doing a particular work in coordination with other set of five, in which again each of them are coordinating with each other. In this way, also the Pankta way, the Mahat Brahma is functioning in the whole universe. Recognize that Panktam. See, Pankta Upasana, Mahat Brahma Upasana, Antarakasha Jiva Upasana, then the Vyahruti Upasana. Vyahruti Upasana is discovering the Mahat. Antarhridaya Akasha Jiva Upasana is discovering I am Jiva. Mahat Upasana is this Jiva through sacrificing his individual upadhis for the sake of total, becoming one with the Mahat Brahma. And through the Pankta Upasana also, we rise our individual, again identify with the Mahat Brahma. In due course of time, not in one day. This is how this Upanishad is teaching all these upasanas to be done. When each one of us sit quietly and take a pen paper and remember all that and write the points, become consciously alert, more clarity will come to us. Then we start doing, then we get established in that doing. Then for that, if the age permits, if the avans are there, go out and serve. If not, बैठे बैठे ही हम समष्टि का उपासना संकल्प के द्वारा प्रार्थनाओं के द्वारा सद्विचारों के द्वारा कर सकते एंड उसका नतीजा देखना है हमेशा वी आर इन द सर्विस ऑफ टोटल एट आवर माइंड लेवल देयर आर मेनी योगीज they don't come into the gross world to work but wherever they are seated they are transcending their individuality by serving the totality in their own inner life in their own inner mana उनके संकल्प उनके प्रार्थनाएं सारे like when I chant Shanno Mitra or Bhadram Karnevehi, when I do it only for me, then I am cocooned in individuality. But when I, while chanting the same, pray to the same Mitra Varuna, that all the jivas in the entire universe be blessed by you. That practice with the same mantra chanting, but shifting identity from oneself to total itself is called as Samashti Upasana. It's a vision, always remember. Developed through practice and sustained through practice and expressed through practice. The vision of the totality. Vision of the totality. So, Prithivyantariksham Dyaurdishobandara Dishaha अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आवहोषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणो व्यानोपान उदानः समानः चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाक्त्वक चर्ममागः सग्गस्नावास्ति मज्जा एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचत् पाङ्क्तं वा इदगं सर्वं पाङ्क्तेनैव पाङ्क्तज्ञ स्पृणोतीति. This is how the Pankta Upasana. 2 minute में chanting. So the outer 3 Ayurvedic Panktas, inside 3 Adhyatmika Panktams are told. So outside was the Loka Panktam, the Devata Panktam, then the Bhuta Panktam. Inside the Indriya Panktam, the Vayu Panktam, Indriya Panktam, and the Dhatu Panktam. Vayu, Indriya, Dhatu. Outside, Loka, Devata, then Bhuta, Panktams. Be keen, be observant, be alert to see the presence of all of them. What a beauty, like when you go to Numaish. And in the Numaish also, if you are caught up in your own stupid cell phone, will you enjoy that exhibition? How many exhibits are there in that exhibit? Some people go through all that, but they are only stuck to the cell phone. They don't even know that the hundreds of stalls they have walked through. Like in the train also. When you look out, so many towns and villages and beautiful things go on seeing. You are stuck up in your own book or let us say your cell phone, you don't see them. In the same way, we are caught up in our own individuality so much that we are not able to visualize all these outer possibilities. सेल फोन में फंसा इसलिए देख पा रहा है मैं मेरा जिंदगी करके उसमें भी लिटिल बिट इतना कॉटअप हो गया बट आई एम नॉट एबल टू बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एबल टू विजुअलाइज द पांक्तम्स दैट आर वर्किंग एट द ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सल लेवल. At the global level, Pahat Brahma is working through the Panktams in the management of the total universe. This understanding is Upasana. In that, what's my role is Upasana. And when I do the role properly, I am given promotion, dhire dhire. I come to the highest. Like, every of the cinema hero of today, 25 years back, they are a character artists. They are only the role play. They are only guest appearances. But they went on, stuck to the job. Slowly, they got an opportunity. They encashed it. When they went on performing, now they stand as the leaders in the industry. देखो आप जो लीडर है 25 साल पहले उनके सिनेमा ओनली गेस्ट अपीयरेंस. So to the top batsmen in cricket. 20 years back, then some county, some Ranji, some gully cricket, they were there. Some also, but slowly with practice. So too, we are all caught up at this individual level. But when we visualize the Panktam working and we, in association and coordination with the Panktam, when we start working, then we evolve. This is called as evolve, and that is evolution. And that is practically to be done. Without practically doing and this way evolving, with any amount of intellectual knowledge, we don't get helping ourselves. याद रख लेना, इससे हमको अपने इंडिविजुअलिटी से बाहर आना ही पड़ेगा. एंड दैट इज डन थ्रू सर्विंग द वर्ल्ड एज सर्विंग द लॉर्ड. घर में बैठे बैठे साधना नहीं होता, बाहर निकलना पड़ता है. बाहर निकल कर करके सारा इंडिविजुअल टोटल उपाधियों को पार किया, तब जाकर एक जगह बैठकर देन यू ट्रांसेंड ऑल दिस थ्रू मेडिटेशन. साक्षी भाव, रिकॉग्नाइज योरसेल्फ. Otherwise, theory remains as theory, and I live only as an individual Deha Tadatma Yukta Jiva with the same pains of the body, worries of the mind, and then desires of the senses and excitements of the pleasures. ये इसमें कहाँ साधना है बताओ? What did we achieve? Where did we go higher level? No, यही फंसे हैं. But we know all Upanishads. What is the use of the Upanishad if I don't practically? That is why in the 9th Anuvaka, हमको सर झुकवा के हमसे सारे वर्ल्डली ड्यूटीज कराकर देन वी आर टॉट अबाउट परब्रह्म. ऐसा वैसे थोड़ी होता है. Unless we physically serve the world, we cannot come out of physical body identity. Unless we feed the people, we cannot come out of Annamaya Tadatmya. Unless we feel for people in the mind and with the words and other activities, we express our feeling of love and forgiveness through action, that we can't transcend our own individual manomaya. Unless I value, respect every individual in the universe, I can't come out of my ahankara tada. And this is called evolution. Therefore, spirituality कोई जादू भी नहीं होता, कोई imagination भी नहीं होता. Jadoo is some god will come and do some that band will move and something happen. No. Nor it is an imagination कि मैं वो हो जाता हूँ, हो जाऊंगा. It is a practically done thing with conscious awareness with all the details in the mind. सब कुछ जानकर जानबूझकर करते हुए आगे बढ़ना, उसको स्पिरिचुअलिटी कहते हैं. कोई वेगनेस से नहीं होता हो. योगासनास ये वेगनेस है क्या? ऐसा कुछ कर दिया आसन थोड़ी होता है. It is yoga asana is a great science. How many intricacies it has got. Knowing all of them theoretically, practically doing every asana and mastering it to yield what you expect of that asana is called a yoga sadhana. Anything where it's a pranayama, it's a yoga, your daily puja to Lord Vishnu, your japa sadhana, कोई भी ये वेग नहीं होता, इमेजिनेशन नहीं होता. जानकर जानबूझकर करने से होता है. So to cooking. You eat food every day, subah, dopehr, sham. The wife knows you don't know it. How much Maha Yajna is going on there. She is conscious of 100 things. It's a Maha Dhyanam it is. Which item is kept where, at what position the cooking is happening now, what is to be offered at what time. ऐसा थोड़ी बन गया कि सब्जी वब्जी खाते तो हम ऐसे आराम से. एक एक मिठाई जो बनाना होता है, हलवा हलवा, it has so many steps, processes. They know it, and that is yoga. That is halwa yoga. So to a tree, consciously it is working. Then only that suddenly one day you see the bud or the flower or the fruit or vegetable. याद रखो बाबा, लेवल ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस को बढ़ाते हुए, लेवल ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल नॉलेज को बढ़ाते हुए, कॉन्शियसली इंटेलेक्चुअली जो बात समझा है, हमको प्रैक्टिकली करते इवॉल्व होना है. Like I must consciously chant every word of the Upanishad. I must consciously know the meaning of every word. I must consciously know the sentence meaning. I must know the meaning of sentence in that particular context or topic or anuvaka. I must be aware of how it's connected to earlier and next anuvakas and of all that is connected to total Upanishad, how the Upanishad is related to me as a spiritual seeker. That's why it takes time, it takes lives. पहले तो ये दुर्गुण जो तमोगुण है, रजोगुण, उससे बाहर आना है. Come into sattva-guna. Only a sattva-guna person, continuously, constantly, persistently, he does what he said so far. Accordingly only, he is evolving in his identity, is in experiences, like that. Okay, now tomorrow we have the 8th Anuvaka summary, then we start the 9th one. It took the whole day. What good air refreshing has happened to us in about the last 8 Anuvakas. Without seeing Bhashya, we have given you the essence of the Bhashya. Then everyone who thinks for himself becomes pakka in the knowledge. Whoever does it practically becomes pakka in practice. He will get the experience also. There's no reservation nahi hai yahan. Like in all foreign countries, you have money, you pay there, you get the thing, or you just कौन है क्या है नहीं पता, पैसे हैं पे करो ले लो. सो टू इंटरेस्ट है, साधना करो, पहुंच जाओ. कोई रिजर्वेशन नहीं होता है. एवरीबडी कैन स्टडी उपनिषद, understand Upanishad, live according to Upanishad, and grow. Okay, so far we have seen the Upasanas. Now, the Pranava Upasana essence tomorrow. After that, the balance between the spiritual life of all Upasanas and day-to-day dharma which we have to do, that will be told in 9th one, which is so essential. Then प्रणवोपासना बताने के बाद ऋषि ने वो सिखाया हमको, मतलब how much is insistent upon us doing the sadhanas practically and not getting carried away just by intellectual imagination. इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ? थियोरेटिकली तुम जितना भी समझो, प्रैक्टिकली तुम्हारी साधना तो घर से ही शुरू होती. That's why Rutam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha Satyam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha, all of that will come. Tomorrow definitely we'll start it after beautifully summarizing the Pranava Ashtavanuvaka Yukta Upasana. Okay, today I'll conclude. Let us pray to Gurudev, to all Guru Parampara, Rishi Parampara, Brahma Tattva, Shruti Mata, that this knowledge of Upanishad, without any ambiguity, with full clarity, step by step, be digested by every one of us. May we live up to the knowledge gained from the Upanishads. May we realize the Upanishad Vedya Brahma Tattva. All of you, please bless us. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramanushibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha Vedavyasa Vaishampani Agnavalkyata Shankaracharya Varyadi Gurubhyo Namaha Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you. We will do our Vidaraniti for some time. Don't miss that class also. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo